Hello, Stu.
Hello, DRB. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Although I'm a little concerned. I woke up this morning and I got this album on my iPod that I didn't remember buying. It's a U2 album.
Yes, that will be the free U2 album that Apple
No,
have given you.
no, I mean, like, I didn't. I swear I could have been drunk, but I don't remember actually buying it.
It's okay, DRB. Do not panic. You have not
Well,
purchased an erroneous album in your drunk state. It's okay.
I don't
It's
want
a
to lose
free...
my money. I don't want. I don't like U2 even. I don't know why I would have bought it.
I know, but it's free music. It's free content. Don't
Well,
panic.
no, it's not free because it's here on. I'm telling you, it's here. It's right here. I could play it.
But no, but you didn't have to pay for it, did you? It's free.
Well, no, I didn't have to. But it's just I must have got. I hate U2. Why would I do this?
We all hate U2, but it's free.
How can it be free? It's music. It's right here, dude. It's on iTunes.
Oh, heaven forbid.
You're listening to the Renaissance Men podcast with Stuart Garrard and David Robert Bridge. Follow us at Renaissance Pod on Twitter for regular updates on the show and its content, and to find all of the links to our distributors, such as Player FM, Stitcher Radio, and iTunes. The Renaissance Men podcast will begin in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome, it's Monday, and it's the Renaissance Men podcast. My name is Stuart Skinbear Goward, and I'm joined as ever by my co-host, Mr. David Robert Bridge. How are you, sir?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 12. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good, man. How are you?
I'm all right. Yeah, had a good weekend. I'm looking forward to a good, nice week. It's the week of my anniversary, so.
Well, congratulations to you. Which day actually is it?
My anniversary will be on this coming Sunday, so it's on the 28th.
Gotcha.
So obviously 1 year ago this week, I was shitting myself and waiting for it all to be over. But I had a lovely day, obviously, if my wife is listening. And we're actually going away up to sunny, I hope, Norfolk on the Friday.
Exhausting.
Having a nice weekend away in a spa hotel, lovely posh spa hotel. So obviously that means I will be unavailable to record next weekend. So, you know,
all right.
I'm sure
just leave me all by myself.
I'm sorry, mate. But I'm sure you'll do the business. You will rise to the challenge.
Is the loneliest number one.
We can't go by a whole episode without you singing, can we?
Nope.
Yeah.
No, the schedule is actually going to be exactly the same. Hopefully myself and a guest or two. We'll see. But Botchcast and Renaissance Men podcast episode 13 next week's will be up at the usual time.
Life goes on, with or without me. Stay tuned for those excellent shows this week. Just to say, obviously, this is the Renaissance Men podcast, episode 12, for Monday, the 22nd of September. The Renaissance Men podcast is available, as always, on iTunes, Stitcher, and Player FM. And you can catch us on Twitter at Renaissance Pod. I remembered this week.
Yes, you did. Go give us an iTunes reviews or something, listeners.
Yeah, please do. No new reviews this week, but please pop along and, put down your thoughts, good or bad. I won't read out the bad ones on the show. You can bugger off. But
I will.
What a good one. Okay. I suppose they are learning points, wouldn't they? As such, they would be.
I'm just vindictive.
A vindictive bastard. But in all seriousness, do please go along and review the show. It does help. I believe it helps in the charts in some degree. The funny algorithms that iTunes use. But anyway, we digress. DRB, we mentioned on Friday that you'd been bitten by a spider. I just need to ask, how is your head?
Much the same, believe it or not.
Okay.
Yes, it hasn't really gone down. I don't know if I should be worried about this, like some infected pocket of brain or something. Maybe. But I feel okay. I feel strong enough to talk and to do this shit.
Excellent. So you don't have any fears of miniature baby spiders popping out of a weeping cyst on your head.
That would be weird.
Not to panic you in any way, of course.
No, that should be fine. Even if it is, it will be like raising a little family.
There you go. So with that being said, shall we take a look at the past week's news?
The lighter side of the news?
Yes.
Why not?
Both light and serious this week. And welcome back. DRB and myself will now take a look at this week's news, both serious and light.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we should really start with DRB. Our Scottish brethren this past Thursday voted against independence from the United Kingdom.
Yes, by a slightly bigger majority than we were thinking. It actually ended up 55 to 45.
10 whole percentage points.
Yep. Not a huge surprise, though, that it did come in as a no vote. But very disappointing, I guess, to those who were so steadfast about breaking away from the Union. But I think you and I have pretty much agreed that it's the best thing.
I agree. It'd be a crying shame if the United Kingdom had begun to splinter at that point. But I do sadly have with the result of this vote being probably further devolution powers going to Scotland and Wales and Northern Ireland and hopefully England as well, that the breakup is probably a split, as it were, is inevitable.
Do you think 50 years from now it will be?
I think so. Sadly, I think so. I think this issue will probably just keep rearing its ugly head, and eventually generations will have passed that, that's what they want, and if that's what they want democratically via a vote, then so be it, I suppose. But it'd be a crying shame.
I can sort of see that too. But for now, Scotland, you're stuck with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see the Gordon Brown speech during the week?
No, I didn't. I missed that.
It was very good. I think I may have posted it either on Facebook or Twitter, but it was very... God bless Gordon. He was a bit of a lame duck as a Prime Minister, but he was very impassioned with this speech. He was, obviously giving his personal opinions on why we shouldn't, or why Scotland should stay in the Union, as it were. And it was just incredible to see such a impassioned, awe-inspiring speech from the man, because I didn't actually think he had it in him, to be honest.
No, he certainly didn't when he was running for re-election in 2010.
No. It's strange why that is the case. Perhaps he needed a subject that he could be personally involved with and passionate about. Perhaps he needed to have that to draw that out of him.
My feeling is in 2010 he was trying too hard to be that sort of New Labour clean-cut kind of thing, where he blatantly just isn't. He's the more grisly old sort of accountant.
He is, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No, as opposed to the two sort of shysters he was running against. I felt like he should have been more like this and sort of thing. But instead he was trying to smile like the fakest smile in the world.
Yeah, he should have come out warts and all.
Yes.
There's no shame in that. I would have, appreciated him and respected him more for being that gruff, grizzled Scottish bastard.
Yeah, I agree. And whether this had something to do with the way that people voted last Thursday, I'm not too sure, but it couldn't have hurt.
No, I don't. No, I think obviously it would have helped, if anything. To what degree it would have helped, I don't know, but I think it certainly had some kind of effect on the mindset of the people.
Yeah.
But anyway, good news all round, really, wasn't it, I suppose?
Well, I think so, yeah. Okay, whoopsie-daisy.
Indeed. So with that being said, shall we go into some lighter tidbits of news that I've gleaned from the internet this week?
By all means.
Now, DLB, do you? I need to quantify. Do you like pizza?
I love pizza.
Okay. I suspect you will not like pizza quite so much after I tell you this story.
Okay.
So brace yourself. This is from the consumerist.com.
Mm-hmm.
And the headline reads, "Pizza shop worker admits it was stupid to rub his junk on customers' pie." Yeah. Today, in awful things I'd rather not know happened, but well, here we are. A customer at a take-and-bake pizza shop has accused an 18-year-old worker of rubbing his downstairs bits on the pie as he got his order ready. The reason? He was allegedly annoyed at having to take the order right before the store closed for the night.
Oh.
According to the smoking gun, the customer told police he witnessed the worker rubbing his testicles on the pizza he had ordered while he was preparing the large stuffed pizza with Canadian bacon, pineapple, extra cheese, and extra grossness. So there you go. Don't piss off. Although this was not Domino's, just don't piss off your pizza store employees.
Don't piss off restaurant workers in general. But,
I think that's the key. Yeah.
No, I always. I very rarely get takeout anyway. But that's just a general rule of thumb. Don't piss off the people who work with your food.
Yeah, don't piss off the people who are then making something that you put into your body.
Yeah.
Not good. My second story this week is from www.wkrn.com. So it's WKRN TV Nashville, their official website.
Okay.
Man arrested for drugs after butt dialing 911. With all you could picture the scenario. You're walking along. You've got your phone in your pocket. You go to sit down, and you accidentally phone someone. Well, in Tennessee, Mount Pleasant police say they arrested a man for drugs after he pocket dialed 911, and dispatchers heard him talking about getting high and going to a drug dealer's house.
That's unfortunate. The
call came into the Maury County 911 Center Friday evening. Dispatchers were able to trace the location of the call to Don Pepe's Mexican restaurant on North Main Street in Mount Pleasant. So yeah, there you go. I'm not quite sure how one would do that. And I guess you must have 911 set up in your contacts, and then you just sat on it in such a way that he dialed 911. Very strange.
Yeah,
quite the skill, really.
Incredibly unlucky, I think. And then to be overheard talking about drugs. I mean,
I know.
Yeah.
What a tit. So there you go. They are my two lighter news stories this week. They made me chuckle. Hopefully they made one or two listeners chuckle as well.
Yes.
So shall we talk gaming?
I think we better.
Let's do this.
Okay, let's go.
Welcome back, listeners. We're going to talk some video games.
Video games.
I'm going to start with some news, some video game news. Quite a big story broke was it 1 week or 2 weeks ago?
At least a week.
Yeah, but it was Microsoft buys Mojang. If for listeners who don't know, I assume they do know, but Mojang are the company who develop Minecraft. Yeah, so $2.5 billion.
It's quite a lot.
That's a lot, isn't it? Fair play to them. Do you think it's a good deal? I'm not really particularly sure. How much would you really recoup any investment in that? It's a lot of money to make back, isn't it?
Well, I mean, I can only assume they must see something in it, otherwise they wouldn't have done it. I know that the Minecraft franchise, if you will, they are trying to grow it. They want to do movies. They've already done merchandise out the ass. But to grow it from where it already is seems challenging to me. It's I'm not entirely sure how they'll manage to do that.
No, sure. To be fair on Microsoft's part, they have said, I mean, there were fears that with this deal, maybe versions of the game that aren't on Microsoft platforms may, go away, as it were, or cease to exist. But Microsoft, to their credit, have said that they're going to continue to publish on other platforms, i.e. your PlayStations and your iPhones and whatnot.
I think they'd have to, just for the licensing and to make sure they recoup some of that money.
Oh, that'd be silly. You're essentially saying, no, I don't want that money, thank you, take it away.
Yeah, it's retarded. So, yeah, I wouldn't say that I'm against the deal, but I do find it puzzling how they're going to make that kind of money back.
Yes, me too. But I am fearful that they may try to increase the monetization within the game, so I don't know.
Maybe, but I don't play it anyway, so I don't give a fuck.
No, me either. I don't really see the fascination in it. I'd rather play with some Lego, to be honest.
Yes,
but, yeah.
Some real Lego.
Yeah, go old school.
Yeah.
But there you go, Microsoft buying Mojang. So we'll...
And good for Mojang, I guess.
Yeah, I think the guy who runs it, he said he's basically he's leaving the company.
Bugger off, basically.
Yeah, bugger off into the sunset with, I don't know, 70% of whatever that works out as.
Yeah.
So good for him. Good for him, I say.
Now, how have your Mario Kart sessions been going?
This week, slightly lighter on the Mario Kart. I've played a few multiplayer games with Amanda, the good wife. I'm continuing my quest to, I guess, complete the game. Although, when I say complete the game, I mean, 3-star all of the courses at various different kart speeds. So the hardest being 150cc. Mm-hmm. I'm finding that quite hard, so I don't want to talk too much about it because I've probably bored listeners over the past few weeks with my Mario Kart chat. But it's one of those games. Go on.
Just wondered if anything was new. That's all.
No, nothing really to report on that. I mean, obviously there's the DLC is coming out in November, so I guess I'm going to start tailing off playing my Mario Kart until that point, where that will probably reinvigorate my interest in it, where we get some new karts and characters, etc. So, yeah, it's just a ticking along type game. If we've got a spare hour in the evening, then we tend to just throw it on and play some online multiplayer. So it's all good. It's all good.
So what else have you been playing?
For change of pace, I dusted off my Super Nintendo.
Ah.
And as listeners to the Renaissance Men will know, we are keen lovers of wrestling, and I have purchased and have been playing WWF Royal Rumble for my Super Nintendo.
God, what year was that from?
1993, this bad boy was released.
Okay.
Now, I have fond memories of when this first was released. Me and my friend who lived down my road, we just stayed up. I can't remember how old we were. We would have been, what? About 12-ish. We should stay up all night playing this game, and I mean all night. And I don't understand how we did that. Obviously, times were simpler back then. Our expectations for video games weren't as high, but there's very few modes on the game. Obviously, you have a championship mode where you just fight 10 other wrestlers, progression one after the other to ultimately become WWF champion, as it were, at the time. Similar, there's the same for tag teams as well. So you can create your own tag team and fight 5 other tag teams. And there's a Royal Rumble mode, which is probably the best mode of the game. You simulate a Royal Rumble with the other wrestlers coming in at predetermined periods, and then you have to be the last man standing, chucking them all over the top rope as you would in a Royal Rumble. There's just standard one-on-one and tag matches as well. So, I guess for the time it's probably quite varied in what it was offering, but by today's standards it feels a bit limited.
Yeah, I could imagine that.
As it would. But the roster, I'd like to go through the roster of the game because it does have some classic wrestlers in there, certainly, and the wrestlers included in this roster kind of inspired me to, or that made me The wrestlers in the game I kind of followed when I was growing up. So particularly Tatanka was my favourite wrestler in this game.
Tatanka was awesome.
Consequently, Tatanka growing up was my favourite wrestler of all time. So I would always pick Tatanka in this game. Mm-hmm. So you got Randy Savage,
R.I.P.
Mr. Perfect,
R.I.P.
Crush,
R.I.P.
Undertaker,
rest in peace.
Bret Hart,
not dead.
Tatanka,
not dead.
Ric Flair,
walking dead.
Shawn Michaels,
not dead.
Yokozuna,
rest in peace.
Lex Luger,
looks dead.
Ted DiBiase,
the $1 Million Man,
and Razor Ramon.
Hey.
So it's quite a good selection of wrestlers in there. Wrestlers I grew up with, wrestlers I love to this day.
It's a Hall of Fame roster right there.
It certainly is. As I was playing the game this week, I must admit, despite all the praise I'm levelling on it right now, I was starting to fall out of love with it. Because I was playing as Tatanka in this progressive championship format, as I previously explained. Got to the final match against Shawn Michaels and got counted out.
Oh.
And there's no saves, there's no continues, nothing. If you finish, then that's it, done. Back to the start you go.
The Heartbreak Kid lays down for absolutely nobody.
I know, I was heartbroken, absolutely heartbroken. So I fucked it back off into the loft after that.
Fair enough.
So yes, that's Royal Rumble. It's I do love it. Don't get me wrong. It is one of my favourite wrestling games as I was growing up. That and probably SmackDown 1 on the PS1. So, yeah, those two games.
I think if you...
a very special place in my heart.
If you ever go to the N64 games, that could be a game changer.
But... I know. So I hear. Apart from that, really, I've been playing... The only other thing I really want to talk about gaming-wise this week is this past Friday, on the 19th, Nintendo released the demo of Super Smash Bros. for the 3DS console.
Oh, sweet.
I'm not sure what your history of Super Smash Bros. Is.
I played the original, that's about it.
Okay. Was that a
N64.
64 game, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I think I got it for the GameCube, but never really played it. I didn't get the Wii version. So this is kind of me coming back into the franchise, and I followed its development quite closely, as you do, because there's not many other games coming out on the Wii U. So the ones they do release, you kind of follow and get quite into.
Yeah.
So it's quite good. It's, as you expect, fighting game featuring Nintendo characters and third-party characters like Sonic and Pac-Man. It does what it says on the tin. Really, it's
just fun
entertaining.
multiplayer kind of experience.
I am looking. The demo does include a multiplayer mode, so I'm looking forward to downloading that on Amanda's 3DS and taking that with us and playing some games out on the road.
That's cool.
So that should be quite good. There's only limited characters in the demo, as you would expect. Mario, Pikachu, the villager from Animal Crossing.
He's tough.
Yeah, he just batters people with an umbrella. It's fantastic. That's my kind of fighting style. Improvised weaponry, and so it's really quite good. I shall probably be playing that next couple of days, and I'm not sure when the full game is out. I think it's out next month sometime, and then the Wii U version will be out. I'm hoping by the end of the year, so Christmas time maybe.
Probably Christmas, yeah.
Yeah, but there you go. Yeah, Super Smash Bros. 3DS. DRB, do you have anything gaming related you would like to discuss with us?
I certainly do. As I mentioned
Excellent.
last week, Final Fantasy X. Now, this was released originally in 2002, in Europe at least, year before in Japan. Was recently released on the Vita and PS3 and 4, I believe.
Yep.
Remastered as a package with 10.2 also. Final Fantasy X might be my favourite in the series, which is a little unusual. Most people say 6 or 7.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting, to be honest, for you to say 7.
Well, I think I may have said 7 before, but that's fine. But I do love 10. I could I could go either way on it. But Final Fantasy X is one of the most engaging, fun, and to a greater extent sad stories in the franchise.
Okay.
How do I go about explaining this without spoilers? You take control of a guy named Tidus, who is a blitzball player. Blitzball is this weird, made-up kind of sport. It's played in a dome. Looks like
underwater, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he gets prodded 1,000 years into the future, as you do. And actually, just to go off on that a minute, his best friend in this game is a character named Waka, who is voiced by a guy named John DiMaggio.
Okay.
If you know that name. John DiMaggio is the voice of Bender in Futurama.
Oh, yes. I thought it sounded familiar.
Yes. So you've got these two things. Both of them, he plays the best friend of a man prodded 1,000 years into the future.
Uh-huh.
That's kind of odd, isn't it?
It is.
But there you go. Basically, the story is this religious pilgrimage where there is this horrendous flying beast that is going around killing everything, and they've built this sort of dogmatic religion around it, inventing things that you have to do to defeat this monster. And on the way, you encounter all these various things as you would do in an RPG, and it's just a really amazing story. At least I found it amazing. Mm-hmm. Some people don't. Some people have criticized it, and some people really hate the main character. They find him annoying. And
yes.
I can sort of see that, but he does grow on you, I think, after a couple of hours. And it's one of those deals where it's just a unique perspective on an RPG story. Like, this isn't really... Your usual thing is a medieval setting, for instance, where you're running around as a knight and you have to save people and that sort of thing. Whereas this has more like an East Asian kind of geography to it. You know, things look quite tropical, and it's not the usual setting, and it's not the usual story either. The love story in there is actually quite compelling, and the characters, for the most part, are pretty damn good. There's one or two annoying ones, but for the most part, I find them endearing.
Are they as memorable as the Final Fantasy VII characters?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So,
there's less of them, which is actually cool. There are some games which have like 14, 15 playable characters, just too much. You can't remember. This has 6. So that's easy. Or 7, sorry. So, yeah, 7. With the battle system is actually one of the more fun. It is still turn-based, but it's very strategic as well. You could go a lot of different ways with it. And that holds up really well, even 12 years on. If you can get it on the Vita or the PS4 or whatever you've got, I would probably recommend going there, because the graphics are significantly better than the PlayStation 2 version, which I have. The soundtrack is absolutely amazing. It's, in my opinion, the greatest soundtrack to a game ever.
Yeah.
And just, to me, a great game all round. I can see a couple of reasons why people would dislike it and criticize it, but to me, personally, amazing game.
Did you have any experience with the sequel they made?
Yes, I played that too. I like that a lot less because they went for two main reasons. One, the battle system wasn't to my liking. It was the RPG job system, which just for me isn't my thing. And secondly, the storyline went really, really girly. Like the heroine of the story, which is also the heroine of the first story, is Yuna, and she forms a girl band. Or she becomes a girl singer or something, like a pop star, like a J-pop star, and they're fighting. Their mode of fighting is changing dresses, and it just goes really stupid for some reason. I think at the time they were trying to market it more towards youngsters and girls, but just a really weird disconnect to follow on from the 10 story, which was like brutally sad.
I've got to say, you're selling Final Fantasy X-2 to me quite well.
Yeah, that's the other thing. There's a lot of like fan service in X-2 as well, which is just unnecessary.
Yeah, I just quite like the whole method of fighting with the changes of clothing. It sounds amazing.
Yes. Well, it's fair enough.
Perhaps that says more about me. That says more about me than the game, probably.
10-2 got kind of panned critically. It wasn't anything like as successful as 10. But 10 and 10-2 do come as a package on the re-releases, so you would get both.
Oh, do they? Oh, okay.
Yes, they do.
Okay.
So you get 2 games in one.
So, are you intending to actually go through and complete this game, or was it just a little taster you wanted to get just to remind yourself of how much you enjoyed it, or is it a complete rerun through for you, as it were?
I've played through it probably about 5 times or so.
Oh, really?
Because I like it that much, even though it takes forever to actually run through and complete stuff. The ending of the game is amazing. Again, no spoilers, but that actually brought me to tears, which is pretty rare for a game. In fact, I don't think any other game has.
Yeah.
So,
oh, bless.
Yes.
Oh, Final Fantasy X, then. You would recommend that bad boy, then?
I would give it 5 thumbs up out of 5.
Excellent. So, there you go. Are you planning on, continuing your odyssey through Final Fantasy games?
I may go and run through some of them. I like 4. I quite like 6 and 8. So there could be options there. But no, I'll probably stay off the heavy stuff for a while and get back into something a bit more light.
Excellent. Okay then, shall we move on and let's talk some film?
All right then.
Take out the papers and the trash, or you don't get no spending cash. If you don't scrub that kitchen floor, you ain't gonna rock and roll no more. Yakety yak.
Don't talk back.
Just finish cleaning up your room. Let's see that dust fly with that broom. Get all that garbage out of sight, or you don't go out Friday night. Yakety yak.
Don't talk back.
You just put on your coat and hat and walk yourself to the laundromat. And when you finish doing that, bring in the dog and put out the cat. Yakety yak.
Don't talk back.
Welcome back, listeners. We are now going to talk about some film. I'm going to start off by just going through a quick news story about film that I retrieved off the internet this week. As you may or may not be aware, there's a new Star Wars film in production. A new series of Star Wars film in production. And it was also confirmed that there's some spin-off films that are going to branch off that. Good old Disney want to get their money's worth from the franchise, I suppose. But on Empire, the Empire website this week, they were reporting that one of the spin-off films is going to be a dedicated Obi-Wan Kenobi film. And the story goes on. The Star Wars spin-off films are now a confirmed project with Disney and Lucasfilm, implying the likes of Josh Trank and Gareth Edwards to work on the movies that will fit in between the new trilogy entries. Their subjects remain shrouded in mystery, but now a fresh rumour has surfaced about Obi-Wan Kenobi getting his own movie. Naturally, we'd caution you to keep the Star Wars rumour alert klaxon on standby, but according to Making Star Wars, there could be movement on the concept. For the spin-off movies, they were initially going to stay away from any Jedi or Sith characters, say the website, but I'm hearing now that because of the popularity of Obi-Wan, that an art team is now working with a writer on concepts for an Obi-Wan movie. So there you go. I think there's also talks that Ewan McGregor will reprise his role as Obi-Wan Kenobi in this spin-off film. So whether that means they go in prequels again, as in that kind of timeline, I'm not sure. But interesting nonetheless. I guess you're not... Are you a Star Wars fan, DRB, or could you not give 2 shits?
I couldn't give 10 shits about Star Wars.
Oh, no, man. Never mind.
That's fine.
That's okay. Well, this story is for those few geeks out there who are Star Wars fans.
I know a lot of people love it, and that's fine.
I'm quietly optimistic about Episode 7. All the noise coming out from the production and from the cast they've chosen, etc., and the possible story that they're going with is, it sounds quite good. So I'm optimistic for the future of the Star Wars franchise. And this, I'm not sure how I feel about an Obi-Wan Kenobi film. I didn't particularly think Ewan McGregor. I thought he was just impersonating, doing a rather rubbish impersonation of oh god,
Alec Guinness.
Alec Guinness. Sorry,
See,
Jesus.
I don't even fucking care about that. I know that.
Sorry, I had a mental brain fart there. And yeah, Alec Guinness. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure how I feel about him reprising that impersonation, but I don't know. I remain optimistic as a Star Wars fan. So there you go. That's my little short news story for the week. My main topic of conversation for the film section was I watched. This goes on from what we are a review of The Breakfast Club last week.
Yes, sir.
Being a John Hughes film.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously I just went through and watched another John Hughes film, namely Uncle Buck, starring John Candy.
Yeah. Love me some John Candy.
I love John Candy. I love this film so much. I'm assuming you have you seen Uncle Buck?
Yes, I have, but it's been a long, long time, I'll tell you.
Oh, so good. I'm not sure how much I need to go into the plot surrounding Uncle Buck, because I guess a lot of people have watched the film, as it's a classic. Essentially, John Candy plays the titular Uncle Buck, who comes in to look after his nieces and nephews after there's an illness in the family, so the parents get Uncle Buck in to look after the family. But
the parents aren't too excited about it.
They're not, because he's a slob. He lives on his own. Has relationship issues. He's not the kind of person you want looking after your kids. He gambles. He drinks. He smokes.
This is sounding a little familiar. But,
yeah. But it's a classic 1980s film, directed by John Hughes, directed and written by John Hughes.
Yeah.
Stars also Macaulay Culkin, I believe, in his first major film role prior to Home Alone, which I think was 1990, the year later.
What year was My Girl?
I think that's a good question. I'm guessing around 94.
Really?
I think so. I think it was. Oh, sorry, no, 91. 91. My Girl, 1991. Perhaps I'm thinking of My Girl too. Yeah, but okay. So that trifecta of films that he starred in really cemented his career, I suppose. But yeah, Uncle Buck
went a bit downhill after that, but
yeah, well, yes, it did, didn't it? Uncle Buck is one of those. It's a great feel-good comedy.
Yeah.
John Candy's character has a frosty relationship with the eldest child of the family, but that eventually, I guess, that is the main narrative thread of this the whole film, in that his relationship with this child develops and grows. They grow to trust and love each other, and Uncle Buck grows from being this, slovenly, drinking, smoking, obese, awesome character into becoming, a fully formed, loving adult who is able to have fully formed adult relationships. But I just love it. It's hilarious. And
my favourite scene is with the golf clubs and the kid in the back of the trunk. Was it in the back? Yeah.
Basically, this kid has been trying to cop off with the eldest child. I'm just going to see who actually played that.
God knows.
No, I can't remember. Jean Louisa Kelly. Yeah, she played Tia Russell.
Okay.
Who was the eldest of the children. Basically, this character, he's called Bug, isn't he? I think. But he's trying to cop off with the eldest child, and Uncle Buck takes umbrage to this and
deals with it in a slightly eccentric way.
He captures him in the trunk of his car, and then proceeds to threaten him with a drill, and then pelt golf balls at him. So, that's how I would deal with shit being a father.
Yes, I think so. Me too.
Mental mind games with weaponry.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say something else. I can't remember what it was. Just a great film. Yeah.
I mean, John Candy is one of my favourites. I should probably do Cool Runnings at some point on here.
Do you know what? I've never seen it.
Really?
No, I've never seen Cool Runnings.
I'll wait for you to see it. You talk about a feel-good film. That's top of the list.
Yeah, sure. One of my favourite scenes in Uncle Buck is when Buck is coming to terms with doing the laundry.
Mm-hmm.
He has a particularly troublesome washing machine. John Hughes uses lovely shots of just peeping behind the corner of the washroom, and you see the rear of John Candy just pummeling this washing machine as if he's giving it a right good scene to, as it were. And their neighbour comes in and sees him talking dirty to it as well, saying, "Come on, you." Yeah, that well, you get the picture. Yes. But yeah, it's wonderful scenes like that. Yeah, great film.
Awesome.
Yeah, there you go, Uncle Buck. I think I might continue my John Candy odyssey. Perhaps I'll check out Cool Runnings this week if I can get it somewhere.
Was he in The Great Outdoors? That was him, wasn't it?
It was, yeah, another great film. Love it. Yeah.
Yes.
So there you go, Uncle Buck. Awesome. We all know it's awesome. Just go and watch it again. It's usually on ITV2 or something on a Saturday evening. So there you go. That's all we have to talk about, really, with regards to our films and games, and no TV this week.
No, big TV next week, because Big Bang comes back. But I'll get into that next week.
What we have for you now is an experiment of sorts. Obviously, last week, regular listeners will know, I again shamed myself in the Amazon reviews game to the point where I made the wager that if I did lose, or did not, get 3 out of 3, which I thought was
2 out of 3.
Oh, was it? It was.
Yes.
Oh, it was as little as that, was it? Oh, Jesus! My failure was even more spectacular than I thought. Then I would come up with my own game for this week.
Huh.
I don't really have a fancy name for this, but I've just called it the Name That Film from the Trailer type game. So, as the title suggests, I have 3 trailers that I have taken from YouTube, the audio of which you, DRB, will be listening to.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is name the film that the trailer belongs to.
Okay.
Now, I'm not sure how hard this is going to be. I've tried to pick fairly well-known films that have fairly distinct trailers, but I don't know how this is going to go, but we shall see. So, I have 3 trailers here. I think I'm going to go easiest to most difficult, in my opinion.
Okay.
Are you happy with that, or would you like to
I'm fine.
random?
I'm fine with that. Whatever.
Okay.
Got to be my game here. I'm either going to know it or I'm not. So we'll see.
Let me just get these up.
Hopefully, we'll have the audios. There won't be any audio issues here. You should be able to play along with us.
Yeah, we're flying by the seat of our pants. We're not sure quite how this is going to work, but
this
hopefully
is experimental.
It is. If it's a success, we may alternate the games in the future. But let's see how we go. Okay. This is trailer number 1. Trailer number 1.
Here we go.
Okay, coming up now.
I have seen the dark shadows moving in the woods, and I have no doubt that whatever I have resurrected through this book is sure to come calling for me.
No, it was the woods themselves. They're alive, Ashley.
I fear that the only way to stop those possessed by the spirits of the book is through the act of bodily dismemberment.
I don't care what happens to her. She's your girlfriend. You take care of her.
go.
Wow.
So, trailer number 1. What are we thinking?
Well, I'm intrigued by the bit where the woman was screaming. It's the trees themselves. It's coming to get us.
That is a key. That is a key clue, I would say.
The book kind of threw me off. It's certainly not something I've ever seen. Sounds horrific. Wasn't there a film called The Hills Are Alive or something like that?
There was.
I'm going to go with that.
Okay, you're going with his final answer?
Yeah, I guess I'll have to, even though you just kind of said no, but yes.
That's incorrect. I'm sorry, that's incorrect. It was Evil Dead.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Evil Dead. Okay.
0. All right. Do better this time.
Trailer number 2. This
Right.
is I would say that of the 3, this is the second hardest.
Okay.
I don't know, but we'll see.
Here we go.
Here we go.
You are nothing but unorganized, grabastic pieces of amphibian shit. You will not like me, but the more you hate me, the more you will learn.
This is my rifle. There are many like it, but this one is mine. My rifle is my best friend.
Joker, I want you to get straight up to Fubai. Captain January will need all his people.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir! Yes, sir! Anyone who runs is a BC. Anyone who stands still is a well-disciplined BC.
God bless you, please. This is Robinson.
Stand down, mother. That's a direct order.
Hey, hey, hey.
Fuck you, cowboy. Fuck all you assholes.
We like to know a little bit about you.
Green, what is that button on your body armor? A peace symbol, sir. What is that you've got written on your helmet? Born to kill, sir. You write born to kill on your helmet and you wear a peace button. What is it supposed to mean? I don't know, sir.
Jesus loves you more than you will know.
You know what really pisses me off about these people?
What?
We're supposed to be helping them and they shit all over us every chance they get.
Heaven holds a place for those who pray. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey.
I'm here to take combat photos. But if the shit gets too thick, I'll go to the rifle.
What do I think about America's involvement in the war? Well, I think we should win.
There you go.
Fuck. Damn it.
It's hard, isn't it? Just hearing the audio.
It is, but I've heard part of that before. The Born to Kill quote, and you wear a flower on your helmet. What the hell was that from? Okay, so it's obviously a war film. I would presume Vietnam War, because you've got Simon Garfunkel on there. So what were some films from that time? Fuck. No, that wouldn't be it. You know what? I can't. I don't know. Final answer?
Okay, final answer?
No, I can't even guess.
No guess?
No.
Okay. Full Metal Jacket.
Fuck. Damn it.
Yeah. Classic.
Oh, yeah. That's so annoying.
Okay.
Sorry, listeners, I'm laying you down.
This is trailer 3, and it's probably the hardest of the 3. So
Great.
I apologise.
This will probably be the one I get straight off.
Right. It's quite obscure, I admit, but just think about what it's saying. Okay. This is trailer number 3.
Here we go.
Your mind. It is the center of your life. It is everything you hear. Everything you see. It is everything you are. How would you know if someone stole your mind?
Is that it?
Yeah.
Fuck. I really should have got that Full Metal Jacket one because that went through my mind, but I didn't go with it. How would you feel if someone stole your mind?
That is key.
I guess I'd feel robbed. So what's a movie where someone steals your mind? I can't even guess. I'm sorry.
Do you want a clue? Maybe a year of release, maybe?
Year of release, go on.
Okay, let me just find what that was. Okay, 1990.
1990?
Mm-hmm.
Someone steals your mind in 1990. That's a tricky one.
Another clue.
Okay.
Okay. It has recently been remade. It was remade in 2012.
Fuck. No, I'm not even close. No,
Okay.
you may as well just give it. Sorry.
Total Recall.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Damn it. Urgh.
Okay, I think.
Of course, that
I
makes
think
sense.
as a concept, I think it's all right. Maybe I need to pick some more. Some clearer trailers. Maybe.
No, I don't think so. I think it's just I
No?
suck at that, and
Dear.
no, it's true. It's true.
Good effort.
No, it's bad effort. Total Recall. I can't believe I didn't get that. Fuck. Yeah, because what other film does someone get their mind erased? Fuck.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
There you go. That was the name that film from the trailer type game.
0 out of 3.
I know. It's hard, isn't it, DRB?
It is, yes. Now I know
It
how.
is.
Now I know how you feel.
So with that, should we go into the show closing?
I guess we better.
Let's do this.
Bye bye.
Take the highway to the end of the night, end of the night, end of the night. Take a journey to the bright midnight, end of the night, end of the night.
So here we are, listeners. It's the show closing. Another week is gone. Another podcast, Renaissance Men podcast, has been and gone.
Yep.
It was alright, wasn't it?
Yes, I think so. I still feel bad about the game, but never mind.
Oh, that inadequacy soon passes until
Yes.
the next week when it happens again. If you would like to contact us on Twitter, our Twitter details are: the show is at Renaissance Pod. I am at Skinned Bear, and DRB, you are
David Bridge, 1985.
If you'd like to email the show, we are at the Renaissance Men Podcast at gmail.com. And I guess all that's left to say is to thank listeners for tuning in, and we will see you next week. Well, DRB will see you next week. I will see you in 2 weeks.
All by myself.